Relationships are powerful. There are laws to relationships. One of it is friendliness. I've taught you this. Forbearance. All men are men. The best of any man is still a man. The person you like the most will annoy you one day. It's not new. Learn it. You have to factor it. I taught you that one of the major things you need to maintain relationships is forgiveness and forbearance. Forgiveness means to pardon a default. Forbearance means to create an accommodation for that lapse, because it will happen again. Can I tell you, some of the people God will use to lift and help you most in life, some of them may sustain things in your life you want to drive them for. But let me tell you sincerely, if you can understand how relationships work, you will protect certain relationships until they deliver to you the prophecy attached to them. For instance, maybe you're a man of God. Maybe there is a man of God anointed and assigned to help you, but you don't like the man because of the way he speaks, or because of temper, or because of other limitations. Your ability to endure those limitations will make way for you to receive of the grace that is in that person. Everybody say relationships. You are a relationship away to the next level of your life. I've taught you extensively on this, and that includes even the ministry of destiny helpers. Remember, divine connectors, men of influence, gifted people, burden bearers. Listen, I want you to go back. I gave you an assignment that time. I know many of you didn't do it. God is giving you another chance. Go and write a list of some of the most valuable relationships in your life and begin to invest in them consciously. The top 10 relationships in your life that reflect it's like those relationships are a gateway. You can't put everybody in your life in the same category and invest the same level of time, energy and effort. That is not wise. It has nothing to do with hating or loving. There are relationships that are priceless in your life, and if and when you find those relationships, throw away your ego and don't be ashamed to invest your time and energy, because the returns from those relationships will translate into an excelling life. Hallelujah. Are we together? There are sacrifices that I've made in my life, even in ministry. There are places I've gone to minister. It was not part of the original schedule, but the sacrifice of maintaining relationships, maybe with the fathers and the people there, I've had to bend over backwards, sometimes even to the detriment of my health. It was it may not have been the best sacrifice, but can I tell you the truth? I know that the excellency of the kind of relationship that will be built from that sacrifice will be worth the while. There are many of you, there is nobody who is special in your life. Nobody is worth your commitment. There is nobody who can make you wake up in the night to answer their call or pray for them. You believe you are a disciplinarian. I sleep by 12 midnight. And not even Jesus Christ wakes me. If you continue like that, you will not go far. Can I tell you, when it has to do with the world of men, there are positive compromises. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I left you with a thought when we discussed on relationship. Let me bring it to you again. Is there anyone in your life today who sees you to be so valuable and useful to them that if you call for help of any sort, if it is within their power, they will stand up without question and come to you? If you don't have at least one of such kind of person in your life, I assure you by God, you are sitting on a time bomb. No matter how anointed, no matter how enlightened. In this world, who hates you does not matter, but who likes you matters. Is there somebody who can cry with you when you are crying? Not that you beg the person to cry with you. He came on his own volition to say, I love you too much. Your pain is my pain. Great leaders will tell you that part of the things that make them excel is that they may not have money, but they have the wealth of men. Genuine and sincere men. I'll tell you a little story now. I'm sure he's going to be embarrassed about pastor here. I remember one time I was going to go and preach, and it was a huge sacrifice. I was to stop by at Enugu, just do 2-3 hours or so, preach, and then head to connect with another conference in Port Harcourt. It was so inconveniencing, but then I needed to push through because of the honor that I had for that man of God and that father of faith. And when I remember, when I got in, I was, so exhausted. And please don't feel embarrassed. This dear man, you see, when I tell you he's a good man, he really is a good man. Put together his team. It was even his team that went and picked me from the airport. I just went to rest a bit, and as I was preaching, he came for the program. When I finished, this man was with me all around. This is, for those of you who know House on the Rock very well, respectfully speaking, this is one of the men who has raised many of the leaders in House on the Rock. Profound humility. Hallelujah. I was so humbled and broken that day. I didn't know how to tell him, Pastor, please, your boys are here, you go back. And he escorted me right to the base of the aircraft to leave. Can I tell you this? I have learned by experience, not everybody thinks you are a big deal. So when you find people who think you are that important, don't trivialize them. Because it is not everybody who thinks you are that special or deserving of honor that much. Let me give you a kind advice. When you find people in your life who are sincerely interested in your life and your well-being and love you sincerely with no strings attached, let me tell you, don't be ashamed to invest in those relationships. There are some people who may not have money to give you, man of God, but you can be sure that every time you cry, they are there. How do you throw such people out of your life?